don't want what we know out there.
How a person can go from really almost nothing to becoming a millionaire by owning rental properties.
He would always buy these flip houses, and I just remember thinking, this guy is crazy. Why would he buy that house?
In the past decade, there's been a huge surge in the peer-to-peer short-term rental market.
Become an insider. So you have to know the rules before you get the game.
Every second counts. So make every second count.
Welcome to the Real Estate Jam. Whether you're just beginning or the best of the best, we're glad you're here. We will share successes, failures, and strategies for the action-taking real estate investor. And now to your hosts, JD, Annabelle, and Melissa.
Hey guys, welcome to the Real Estate Jam podcast. I'm JD with my wonderful co-host,
Melissa. Thank you. Thank you, JD.
Melissa,
nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. I'm glad you're here today.
Thank you.
Happy to be here. Guys, we got a really awesome show for you today. And I think that a lot of the people in our audience are working full-time jobs and also trying to do this real estate investing thing. And so we're really pleased to bring Savannah Arroyo on. She is the Networth Nurse.
Nice. I love it.
She's done a bunch of multifamily syndications, and she's raised over $1 million in private money, which is a huge, huge number. And I'm sure all of us can learn something from her. Savannah, we're so happy to have you on the show today.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm super stoked to be here.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Give us some background info.
Yeah, definitely. So, I grew up in Sacramento. That's where I'm from. I knew pretty early on I was going to be a nurse. I just was always drawn to that. It was a huge calling for me. So really right out of high school, I went to Sacramento State University, got my nursing degree, got my bachelor's from up there, and then worked in a couple different specialties at different hospitals. And I was just naturally drawn towards leadership positions. I was constantly taking on different process improvement projects at different hospitals. And so pretty shortly after, I went back to school and I got my master's degree in nursing leadership and administration, and have since then relocated down to LA. And I oversee multiple departments at a hospital here in Los Angeles, and got started real estate investing at the beginning of 2020. I was on maternity leave with my second daughter and just feeling the impending doom of having to go back to work and hand over my 3-month-old little baby to someone else to take care of because I had to go to work for a paycheck. And my husband and I just coming together and talking about our growing family and thinking there has to be a better way. I mean, we wanted to be available for soccer practice and swim lessons and after school activities, and just our current work schedule, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, it just didn't allow a lot of flexibility with that. And so we were looking for ways to start investing our money, to start kind of creating additional streams of income. And we went right into our careers, putting 15 to 20% of our paychecks towards our retirement accounts. And we were super congratulated on doing this, encouraged to do it. And this was all we were doing. And it was just really discouraging to know that we couldn't touch that money until we were 65. And so we've completely went into a lot of different education, completely reframed our thinking around investments. We're really only putting 5% towards our traditional retirement accounts and putting the rest in real estate investing.
Yeah, smart.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And everybody, I think one of the things I picked up on, you're congratulated. You're doing such a good job saving 15% of your income, but I think that's from a certain mindset level of people or understanding of or financial literacy, I guess that's what it is. And to make no mistake about it, that's way better than blowing all your money on Amazon packages, right? But it's nowhere near as good as what it could be, and it's super encouraging that you were able to find it, that we were able to find it, and that anybody else can find, a better way to do things. So after you got your start, or what did your start look like? What you started learning, and then, making that leap from education to practice is huge. Can you talk about that for us?
Yeah, definitely. So we were sold on real estate investing, but we had no money to get started. So since then, we've gotten really creative with tapping into different sources of capital in our lives. But so for the first point, we pulled into a second mortgage on our primary residence. We had over $100,000 worth of equity in our home here in LA. When we went to refinance it, our lender kind of told us, oh, you have equity, you could pull it. And we were like, what's equity? What can you do with it? We literally had no idea. And so when he told us us that we could pull it out, at a 4% rate, invested in real estate, get around 15 to 20% returns. It was just like a light bulb went off and we were like, oh, this is how we start growing our wealth. So we ended up pulling the second mortgage to get started in real estate. Since then, we've pulled from our retirement accounts under the CARES Act. We've done different loans that way, self-directed IRAs. So we've gotten really creative on that respect, but got started investing in single family homes really because that was kind of just a sure route. We owned our primary residence. It felt like an easy fit. And we got 2 new build townhomes across the country in Atlanta, Georgia. And then after that, we were like, all right, what next? Like, we want to keep growing. Like, what can we do next? And then that was when we learned about multifamily syndications and the ability to pool together resources from a group of people to buy apartment complexes. And we were generating interest from friends and family of like our real estate path, and they were wanting to get involved with us. And so we felt syndications were really the perfect fit. And so since then, we've been doing those.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And making that transition, usually, it takes people quite a while to make that transition and everybody thinks that there's this path of single family home, duplex, fourplex, and then, 6plex, 8plex, whatever. But there's really nothing stopping you from your second deal or third deal, jumping right into a syndication. Did you start out with limited partnerships, general partnerships? Or were you the syndicator right out the gate?
Yeah. So we went in as the main operators of that deal. And that was really because when we were looking up syndications, we didn't qualify as an accredited investor. And so we didn't meet the net worth liquidity requirements. And so we were learning about the strategy and we're like, hey, how do we even get involved? We didn't realize that you can invest as a sophisticated investor with a certain threshold of criteria with vetted sponsors. But so we ended up going down the route of running these deals ourselves. So we invested in a coaching program. We paid for a mentorship, really because we were raising other people's money. So now we were going to be handling hundreds of thousands of dollars of other people's money. We started off with friends and family, and that has since grown to others, but we wanted to be doing everything right. And although single family homes isn't very different, I mean, the concepts are the same. There's a lot more legalities when you're running a syndication, handling other people's money. Just overall, there's some differences that we wanted to make sure that we were going through it with as many resources as we could. And so by signing up for a coaching program where we had someone with 20 plus years experience overlooking everything we were doing, reassuring us that, yes, go ahead, take that first step. It gave us the confidence to really move forward in our deals. So that we got started really just with a 12 unit that we raised family and friends. My husband and I were running that. And then really shortly after, we created such an amazing relationship with the broker that we did a 24 unit and an 18 unit, all really within 6 months.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is super cool. And one of the things, though, I want to make sure that everybody understands is you guys were learning about this on your own before you jumped into an expensive coaching program, right? And I always tell everybody, like, there's a basic level of knowledge that you can learn for free. And then once you got that basic understood, then if you want to consider looking into coaching programs or mentorships or masterminds, go ahead and do it. But if you're not going to do the work up front, just joining a coaching program is not going to make you successful if you're not going to be willing to do that work. Do you have any recommendations for our listeners, maybe on how to approach the coaching mentorship side of things and maybe some things to look out for?
Yeah, understanding the education piece is so key first. I mean, I was binging podcasts every day to work. When I was on maternity leave, I'd go on walks with my daughter. I was listening to like 3 episodes. I'm one of those people that listen to it on 2 times speed and just consuming as much as I could, listening to audiobooks. Really, really great ones out there on financial or on multifamily deals specifically. So yeah, that education piece and then vetting out different coaching programs. There's a lot of different ones out there, and a lot of them cater to different needs. Like if you're looking to build a brand, or you're looking more for marketing or how to do deals, if you're looking to immerse yourself in a network. And even since I've been really involved in the multifamily real estate community, there's a lot of people that are willing to partner with you, and you can kind of get some mentorship just one-on-one from people, like a little more impersonal. It doesn't have to be as formal. And I know personally, we've done that with people like nurses or other healthcare professionals that I've had invest in these deals with us. And they're like, oh, hey, I'm thinking like, I want to run it. I'm like, oh yeah, come on, jump on the loan with us. You could be like a little, have a portion of the GP, sign on the loan. We'll show you how to take down these deals. So there's a lot of different opportunities like that once you start getting involved in networking. And so for me, it was really joining, free meetups, free masterminds. They happen almost every day of the week. If you get involved on social media, like if you're not even knowing where to start, you can head on social media, look at like multifamily, just hashtag, and see different people that are hosting meetups and jump on them, or even meetup.com. Like I have a meetup for multifamily investors for healthcare professionals in LA. There's tons of them on there, so that you can kind of collaborate with people. We have a Facebook group now too, but tons of other people have Facebook groups. And that's really a great way to kind of share resources with people and learn how other people got started or what other people are struggling with, and kind of build a foundation as you start moving into the world.
Yeah, that's really great information. I'm wondering, how are you and your significant other splitting up these duties, looking at it? Are you guys just working everything together? Are you responsible for raising money and he's responsible for doing paperwork? What does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. So my husband and I, we went through that coaching program together. So for that first year, that 12 unit, that first deal, we went through it side by side. So we were on every coaching call together, every broker call together, every investor call, with property management teams, insurance companies. Like it was very time consuming because we were going through every step of the process together. But it was super important for us to understand how the syndication process works from start to finish. It's usually a 60, 90-day close. It's a pretty intense close on these big multifamily deals, and a lot of due diligence, capital raising, legal stuff that has to happen on them. So we went through that first deal together. And then after we did that, we kind of split up our business. So now my husband handles acquisitions and asset management. So for acquisitions, he's really the first person dealing with our brokers, getting the deal flow, underwriting all the numbers for these deals, handling kind of the financing piece and due diligence of acquiring the property. And then he's managing it. So throughout the lifetime of the deal, he's managing it, which makes sense because he's doing the underwriting on it and in contact with the property management. So it's kind of that natural fit of him now doing the asset management piece. And then I do investor relations and capital raising, and also the marketing. So after we did our first deal, we kind of exhausted our friends and family network of being able to raise money. And so then that was what motivated me to launch my brand, the Networth Nurse, to be able to connect, especially with other healthcare professionals looking to get started investing in real estate. And so now I really kind of manage that brand and that marketing.
That's awesome. How important is that to what you guys are doing now? Are you actually finding investors and generating partnerships through the Networth Nurse?
Oh, yes. It's a game changer. If you're looking to build a business, having any sort of brand is so, so important to establishing yourself as a thought leader, as really just an expert in the field. And really for me, it's been creating relationships with other people out there that are making big moves. So once I launched my brand, the Networth Nurse, I had a goal to be on 100 podcasts in a year and really just to kind of get my brand out there, share what we were doing, what kind of deals we were doing, to inspire other moms or women or people to get started investing in real estate, because we did it with no money and, overcame obstacles to get started. So it was really, and for me, listening to podcasts was my biggest motivation. That inspired me so much to get started in real estate. And so I was hoping to do podcasts to kind of give back in that respect. But since I started doing the podcast, I didn't even realize how amazing it has been to build relationships with the hosts of these podcasts, because they're usually operators doing deals. They have a huge resources and networks in the field. So really creating those relationships is so valuable. And when you have a brand, it allows you to kind of have a foundation. So for me, when I started raising money, I was getting the same questions from investors. They're wondering about the returns. They're wondering how the deals look. And I realized they didn't even know what a syndication was, other healthcare professionals. And I was constantly referring them to other people's material. I'm like, hey, check out so-and-so's blog, like watch this YouTube video. And I realized I need to build my own educational material. So the Networth Nurse was really like a foundation for me to have my blogs. I have YouTube videos. I have my Facebook groups. Like now I have my resources for my investors to learn more about multifamily syndications and kind of what we're doing in real estate.
Right. I think
Go you.
great. Yeah, I think that's a great.
Awesome.
That's a lot of the same things you mentioned is the same reason that we created our podcast.
Yeah.
Really, it's a little bit selfish because we get to contact people that are thought leaders in the industries. They want to come on and share their story, and we get to have personal mini coaching sessions with them. And all of our questions benefit everybody, but they don't benefit anybody more than they do us.
For sure.
And then I think that it also puts our face out there, and the more people know you, the more people trust you, the more they like you, and you're not going to resonate with everybody, but you do push your brand and make a lot of valuable connections through that. I think that's huge. And you don't have to be super smart to start your own brand. You don't have to be super smart to start your own podcast. If you can help one person that's just a little bit behind you, then there's a good direction for you to head.
Yeah. I think for me, it was super hard of like the imposter syndrome coming into a space as a nurse with not a lot of experience coming in as a thought leader and putting my face out there in the brand. It was very intimidating. And honestly, I really didn't want to do it at first. And I was kind of talking to a marketing coach and she was telling me the importance of the trust factor, exactly how you said. I mean, you have to put your face out there, and I did not want to do videos at all. I did not want my face anywhere on stuff. And she's like, you got to get in front of a camera. You need to show people who you are and how you come across and how you like talk about real estate concepts in general. And so I bit the bullet, and it's become more natural, I guess, the more I've done. But like you said, I mean, anyone can do it. And for me, I was like, I don't want to go out there and be super salesy and cheesy. And, there's other big doctors in the space kind of doing what I was doing. And I'm like, oh, there's no room for me. But the more I just kind of put myself out there, I was like, I'm going to do it in the most genuine way possible. And so for me, launching the brand, the Networth Nurse, was like, cool, I can go out there as a nurse. That's what I do. These are my people who I talk to, have kind of this built-in trust with, and talk about my personal experience coming as a nurse and now investing in real estate, building a business out of it. And so really, when you look at it as kind of just sharing your story, and you're not really doing anything like out of character or just genuine to who you are, and just kind of go out there and be yourself, it's a little bit more natural than some people envision.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, it's really helped us doing this every week as well, to be comfortable outside of your bubble, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. One of the other things I think is pretty cool is that real estate tends to be a very male-dominated environment, and nursing tends to be a female-dominated environment. But medical, the doctors and stuff that are out there doing this already don't have that connection with the nurses the way you do, and sometimes it's easier to resonate with people who are like you than it is somebody else. So leveraging your profession and your real estate investing side of things and bringing that to other people in your career field, I think is phenomenal. It's a really, I think there's probably more room than you had originally thought for somebody like you to come in and take over that space.
Oh, definitely. It's so amazing, the amount of women and the amount of nurses that will hear me on a podcast and reach out to me. I just love it so much. It's just a constant reminder that there's a community of people out there doing and striving and wanting to achieve more. And, nurses, we have good jobs. I mean, COVID aside, but it's a good job, a good career. I make good money in California, but it was I was still wanting more. So it's nice to know that there's other nurses out there similar in my position, still wanting to achieve more.
I never met a nurse that was an underachiever. Well, if people are looking to find out more about the Networth Nurse and more about what you guys are doing and just reach out and find out more about you, where can we send them?
Yeah, so I made it easy for everyone. The Networth Nurse on all social media handles. So that's Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. You can find me under The Networth Nurse. My website's The Networth Nurse. We got some big things going, and I just got a Facebook group that I launched a few weeks ago with another healthcare professional friend. In the process of building some courses. I got some good material already out there, and we're always doing deals. So looking for investors who want to invest passively. And I mean, I love talking real estate. So if anything I've said has been remotely interesting, please reach out. I would love to connect.
It's been really super interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So raising $1 million in private money is I don't know a single real estate investor that would be like, oh no, no, it's okay. I just don't see that happening. So I hope everyone goes and checks you out.
We're gonna for sure.
Yeah. Gets on all your social media stuff. We're really glad that you were able to come on the show today. And we wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Jam. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information, check out our website, therealestatejam.com, or find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Real Estate Jam. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email at therealestatejam@gmail.com. See you next episode.